Beach. I'm Reverend Rayna Hamre. I'll be leading the service today, and I understand I'm soon to be joined by members of the Board of Trustees and church leaders up here at the front.
Hi, I'm Mike Radcliffe, President of the board, and I would first like to welcome Reverend Rayna here for her first official sermon as our quarter-time minister. Thank you very much. Also, I would like to thank the members of the task force for finding her for us. Very good job. Thank you very much. And for Tom for taking care of all our monetary situations. Thank you.
Such a light church.
Well, thank you. It's just a great joy to be here and to be walking with you over the next few months, hopefully beyond that. And again, welcome today to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Laguna Beach. Each Sunday, wherever a Unitarian Universalist congregation gathers, we light a chalice. The flaming chalice is the symbol of our faith. If you've joined us by Zoom this morning, I invite you to light a chalice in your home as I light the chalice here at UUFLB. I am going to light a second candle for our service today in remembrance for those who have died recently due to gun violence. Our chalice lighting words are from Reverend Jean Wallstrom. In this small flame dwell, the beacon light of lanterns guiding travelers home. The warmth of hearth fires tended through the generations, the transforming energy of furnaces and the power of the life of our sun. May these blessings, warmth and light and life-giving energy be kindled in each of us. I just put out the lighting candle. There we go. We're very pleased to continue to offer hybrid worship services. For today's service, we have members and friends who've gathered in person here at the Fellowship Building, and our friends on Zoom, friends and members, and we're delighted to have everyone here. There's so many wonderful ways to get together now. We are a strong and growing community with the potential to reach beyond the four walls of this building here in Laguna Beach. So I'd like to give a very special welcome to any visitors today, either on Zoom or in person. We welcome you. At UUFLB, we are a welcoming congregation. Whoever you are, whomever you love, no matter your age or your gender, your ancestral or ethnic background, economic or immigration status, and whatever sincere questions you bring with you today, we welcome you to our community of mutual caring and serious intent to grow as spiritual and ethical beings. Welcome to all. It's good to be together this morning in all the ways we can join for worship. And I'd like to say a special thank you to the many individuals who keep everything running smoothly here at the Fellowship. These folks include Candy and Paul, I was here early today. I traveled down the 405, so it's great fun to talk to them when I get here. And I know everything's always done, even if I get here early. So I don't know. They seem to, I don't know if they spend the night or what they do, but they are amazing. They sweep, candles, fresh coffee. It's just all here. The audio-visual crew with Don, and Don working his magic as our Zoom tech, and Pam and Dara are overseeing audio visuals in the sanctuary. And many thanks to our worship committee, Pam, Rachel, Noreen, who've been hard at work arranging meaningful worship services, and especially to Kendra, who's been doing the scheduling. Thank you all. And today we have some special readers. We have Tom and Rachel and Cynthia. So we welcome them and thank them for participating in the service today. Oh, I'm sorry, Carolyn. It's Carolyn. Okay. And Carolyn will be joining us on Zoom. On the slide that Don will put up for us is a list of the upcoming services for the month. Next Sunday, Don West Jr. will be leading us in Juneteenth. Wonderful, awesome. Celia Young will be here the next week. And then I will be back on the 3rd of July. And then Don will begin his series on book discussion. And he has a slide for that with all that information. And we invite everyone to join us during the month of July and the first week of August for this wonderful book series during our usual worship time. And announcements. Yeah. That will be on Zoom. Good question. Yeah, good question. Yeah, Don is coordinating and organizing all that. So he's, it sounds like it will be on Zoom, and there'll be further announcements and more information. And for other announcements, you have a new minister. Thank you. It's my official day. I was here on the 29th, a few days before I officially started. And anyway, it's been a wonderful transition, and it's really exciting to get to know everyone, put faces to names, and see folks in person that I've met on Zoom. I also want to announce that there will be a congregational meeting on June 26th. It will be after the service that day. The Zoom link will be the same. So please join us for the congregational meeting, whether in person or on Zoom. Following today's service, I hope that you have time to stay for a bit and connect with me, with each other in the fellowship building. I want to say today too that this service, while a healing service might trigger someone, or if you have lost someone close to you to gun violence or any kind of violence, I'll be available after the service to talk. Our attendees on Zoom are invited to stay online for the virtual cafe and coming together to share our ideas and our hopes and our visions. This is how we build a strong community and how we make a difference in the world. For our centering thought, you're invited. I will read it. You can listen. You can say it together if you want to speak it out here or on Zoom. You're welcome to unmute yourself as we read together. Here in refuge, we turn our busy minds towards silence and our full hearts toward one another. We move
together through the mysteries,
the bright
sunshine of birth,
and the
and the shadowed questions of death.
Now, our opening hymn this morning is number 1001. Okay. The newbie put 1017, but it's actually 1001 in the teal hymnal, Breaths. And I understand Carole and I had a little conference, and this is a new song for the congregation. So we have simplified it. We will not be doing the whooshes, but we will be singing the other parts of the song. So I am no great shakes as a singer, but I'll be singing along with Carole, and please join in as you're comfortable. We'll lead in, we'll build up to that for the next time.
I'm going to play just a bit of it for you before we start, so to have a general idea is your introduction. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. Listen more often to things than to beings. Listen more often to things than to beings. To the ancestors' breath when the fire's voice is heard. To the ancestors' breath in the voice of the waters. Those who have died have never, never left. The dead are not under the earth. They are in the rustling trees. They are in the groaning woods. They are in the crying grass. They are in the moaning rocks. The dead are not under the earth. So listen more often to things than to beings. Listen more often to things than to beings. To the ancestors' breath when the fire's voice is heard. To the ancestors' breath in the voice of the waters. Those who have died have never, never left. The dead have a pact with the living. They are in the woman's breast. They are in the wailing child. They are with us in our homes. They are with us in this crowd. The dead have a pact with the living. So listen more often to things than to beings. Listen more often to things than to beings. To the ancestors' breath when the fire's voice is heard. To the ancestors' breath in the voice of the waters. Thank you. It's pretty.
Our call to worship are the words of the Reverend Lynn Cox. Come, you accidental pilgrims, you who find yourself on a journey of surprise and wonder. Come, you who emerge into this place as an act of liberation. Come, you who seek a life of mindfulness and a place to test your thoughts. Come, you who bring hearts of all kinds, heavy hearts, rusty hearts, hearts broken open in revelation, and hearts full of love to share. Come, you who seek courage, and you who have more courage than you realize. Come, you who stand behind the curtain, gathering up the resources to claim your truth. Come, you who have been in a bubble, who are poised for transformation. We begin our story again, gathering courage, love, mindfulness, and a sense of purpose. We gather as people of all ages, of different abilities, different backgrounds, and different perspectives. We share a covenant, a direction for our shared journey, and a commitment to encourage and challenge one another to spiritual growth. This path will ask much from us. Let us move forward with love. Let us move forward with appreciation for one another. Let us move forward knowing we are not alone. Whoever you are and whatever your gifts, you are welcome to join us on this journey. Our unison affirmation is a reminder to us of our reasons for gathering as a community. I invite you to read these words together as you are comfortable. If you wish, please unmute your microphone. It's powerful when we join our voices together, absolutely. The words of the unison affirmation will be on the screens in the sanctuary and the screens at home. Please join me in reading. Love is
the spirit of this fellowship.
Service is
And service is its law.
This is
This is our
great
great
covenant.
covenant
to
to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
And now's the time in our service to briefly share some of those important events, life events that have touched our lives during the past week. During this time of sharing our joys and concerns, we will pause the recording of the service. We will first invite attendees who have our joy. We also honor the joys and sorrows, again, that were not spoken this morning. So one of my very favorite things is when there is a new member in a congregation. So I would invite up Dara Skarecki. And Don and Rachel did an amazing job to get the slides together so that we can covenant together with Dara. So I have a couple of questions for you, Dara, as part of the new member covenant. Dara, will you enter this? Oh, and congratulations. So excited for you. Dara, will you enter this faith with hope and possibility in your heart? Oh, sorry. Oh, that's okay. No, okay. Pledging to participate in and support the ministries of this church. All right. Will you remain true to the spirit of love that flows through this church and guides us? All right, the congregational response will be up on the screen. And at home, you're welcome to unmute. And if folks in the congregation would do our new member covenant with Dara. We welcome
You as once we were welcomed ourselves.
We
We seek to be open and inclusive, respecting your inherent dignity, your ideas and your vision, in times when it is easy and in times when it is difficult.
Be supportive.
We seek to be supportive, not only when you reach out and encourage to us, but also when you need us to reach out to you. In return, we ask that you recognize our humanity. We will not always live up to our ideals. And when we fall short, we invite you to stay in relationship with us and help us more fully bring alive the spirit of love.
We welcome
you as an equal member of this congregation, of this faith, and of our shared spiritual journey.
These things we covenant
together.
Welcome, Dara.
I have a gift for you, and welcome to the congregation as a full member. You've been here for a long time, but you know, it's a wonderful step. Our fellowship depends on the love and generous contributions from our members. We are empowered by the innumerable gifts of those who join in covenant with us. And there's many ways to join in and to give: time, compassion, humor, financial contribution. All of our gifts generously given are needed for this fellowship and for its continued good work in the world. During this time of offering, we'll be passing a basket within the fellowship. And there's information for you folks on Zoom. There is also information on the screen for other ways to give. Again, you know, bills have to be paid, lights have to be kept on. So we appreciate anything that you can offer to help support the fellowship. Please join me in singing our words of gratitude to each other.
You I receive, to you I give, together.
And now we'll enter the more contemplative part of this service. There are 3 readers coming up: Rachel, Tom, and Carolyn. Yay, and Carolyn. Carolyn will be on Zoom. I am so sorry, Carolyn. There was a glitch in my script. So, and between each poem, Carol is going to play for us, May I be filled with loving kindness. And so just follow along with us. So each speaker will come up, and there won't be a break as we move through the chant and the poems.
The chant is number 1031 in their blue hymnal.
One of the joys about being part of the worship committee is that Reverend Rayna said, we need volunteers. And I was like, wow, I'll volunteer. And this first reading is, I mean, it just really touches my heart. And it's called We Remember by Kendall Gibbons. And it has a part that repeats. And those on Zoom as well as here in the fellowship. And it's just the words, we remember. And so I'll hold up my hand when it's we remember. And so if you want to unmute on Zoom and here in the fellowship, just join and then like that, and it's we remember. When death comes suddenly, taking just one friend or in a magnitude beyond our comprehension, in horror and disbelief, we remember. When bright and innocent lives are cut short without warning or mercy, in agony and outrage, we remember. When a long life closes with honor and thankfulness, in reluctant submission and gratitude, we remember. When bereavement and loss seem to be everywhere we turn and the world goes dark, in emptiness and pain, we remember. When help and comfort must be given to the afflicted and the work of our hands is needed in duty and sacrifice, we remember. When arrangements must be made and the severed threads bound up in ritual and in custom, we remember. When it feels that nothing matters and life as it once was seems distant and unreal, in sorrow and numbness, we remember. When grief comes upon us in waves and the helpless heart overflows in sadness and aching tears, we remember. When words at last become meaningless and the only peace lies inward in silence and solitude, we remember. When communities come together and the hurt is shared in mutual comfort and consolation, we remember. Oh, sorry. We remember. When a strain of music or a familiar image brings a gentle, wistful smile in tenderness and nostalgia, we remember. When the spirit of life beckons us to lift our eyes to all that remains true and good in dedication and trust, we remember. When lessons of mutual help and understanding taught by tragedy live on in us to bless the world in love and friendship, we remember. when we come to honor those we have lost by learning to cherish more dearly those around us in generosity and gratitude, we remember.
May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be whole.
These words are by M. Susan Miller. We pause this hour to remember those whom we have lost, those whom we fear losing, those from whom we are separated, those to whom we extend a helping hand, a caring heart, the will to live. We pause also this hour to hope for life and good living, for love and kind words, for reconciliation, for the support of family and friends, for meaning in our struggle, for wholeness. May our memories and hope renew us for the days and nights to come.
May you be filled with loving kindness. Please join me. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be whole.
They Are With Us Still by Kathleen McTeague. In the struggles we choose for ourselves, in the ways we move forward in our lives and bring our world forward with us, it is right to remember the names of those who gave us strength in this choice of living. It is right to name the power of hard lives well lived. We share a history with those lives. We belong to the same motion. They too were strengthened by what had gone before. They too were drawn on by the vision of what might come to be. Those who lived before us, who struggled for justice and suffered injustice before us, have not melted into the dust and have not disappeared. They are with us still. The lives they lived hold us steady. Their words remind us and call us back to ourselves. Their courage and love evoke our own. We, the living, carry them with us. We are their voices, their hands, and their hearts. We take them with us, and with them, choose the deeper path of living.
May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be whole.
The weekend of May 14th and 15th, we lost many people in this country due to race-based violence. We lost locally Dr. John Cheng, age 52, in Laguna Woods. In Buffalo, Roberta A. Drury, age 32. Margus D. Morrison, age 52. Andre McNeil, age 53. Aaron Salter, age 55. Geraldine Talley, age 62. Celestine Cheney, age 65. Hayward Patterson, age 67. Catherine Massey, age 72. Pearl Young, age 77. Ruth Whitfield, age 86. Let's now share just a moment of silence for those who have lost their lives in this past months and weeks. We as a community are grieving. We as a nation are grieving. Please join me now in a moment of silent remembrance. May they rest peacefully in the mystery of the universe. One night long ago in my college student life, I was rushing across the UC Irvine campus from the library for my favorite class. It was art history, taught by artist Phil Leader. Mr. Leader had been recommended to me by another history teacher. Leader's classes were legendary and very transformational, opening the world of art history in a meaningful and just a dazzling way. He was so good. The first sessions in the large forum were packed as students lined up and sat on the stairs to literally sit at the feet of this wise man. Phil Leader was a part of a group of artists who converged in Southern California in the 1960s and early 1970s. And I'm sure some folks here knew some of these folks. And they put Southern California on the map as a center of contemporary art in the 1970s. At that time, I simply knew him as one of the best teachers I had ever had. He looked out at us on that dreary evening, November 21st, 1978. We were about to head out from classes and toward home for the holidays. He was visibly upset and struggling for words. Over the past weekend, 918 individuals had been forced to drink or absorb cyanide at the People's Temple, or Jonestown in Guyana. At first labeled mass suicide, these nearly 1,000 deaths are now understood as a mass murder. This intelligent, artistic man was struggling to explain to a forum full of fresh-faced college students why this had happened. And he was trying to help us make some sense out of this horrific event. He was also attempting to give us some hope. I don't remember his exact words. I do remember that someone I respected made an effort to reach out to us to help us as young adults sort out the unprecedented tragedy that had just happened. While a tragic event, Guyana also seemed at the same time, paradoxically, far away to me on that autumn evening. Watching the news coverage, a small part of me could still push it away into the other category, since it didn't seem to have much to do with my own life at that time. But over my lifetime, the events at Jonestown and the emotions of that strange week have continued to revisit me. We move forward in time to April of 1989, when 2 seniors walked into Columbine High School with guns and killed 13 students and a teacher. As the mother of 2 teenage children, I was horrified. This killing had a lot to do with me as a citizen and as a parent. My heart wept for the parents of the dead, for the families of the shooters. The Columbine shootings, closer to home, perpetrated in a high school, a school much like my own children attended, had much more to do with me, or so it felt. Buddhist teacher Thich Nhat Hanh urges us to feel compassion for all concerned in a tragedy. and that is often very difficult to do. Compassion comes easily, or most easily, for the victims of murders and even accidents, but finding compassion for the shooters themselves is a discipline that can require a deep and multi-layered journey into ourselves, our society, and our history. Some people choose not to make that journey toward compassion for those responsible for the death of another person, but that will take some in-depth exploration, and we can do that another time. On May 14, African-American shoppers were targeted in Buffalo and killed at a neighborhood market. The next day, on May 15th, Dr. John Cheng, one of our local physicians and an active community member, a father of two, was killed in Laguna Woods in a racially motivated killing. At least two of our own UUFLB members live in Laguna Woods, very near the church where Dr. Cheng died. The shootings shook our local and our larger community. Dr. Cheng was a board-certified family practice physician who specialized in sports medicine. He was passionate about the martial arts and self-defense. He had a busy medical practice in Aliso Viejo. He was a devout Christian, and his former classmates and fraternity brothers at Baylor University speak of his kindness and his caring spirit. We continue to reel from reported mass shootings as we move through 2022. These people are our sisters, our brothers, our parents, our neighbors, our friends. They are far away. They are near to us. They are our next door neighbors. I was watching CNN that same week as several experts were calling for tighter restrictions on the sale of AR-15s to the public. Were speaking on the broadcast. They were interrupted during the broadcast with a report of yet another mass shooting. The feeling I had as I watched this interrupted report about gun violence for yet another announcement of a shooting was unreal. It was surreal. We are all frustrated and altered by trauma in recent years. The US hit the sad mark of 1 million deaths from COVID. My friend, who is a surgical nurse, won't wear her scrubs out to do errands anymore. She is sworn at, spat on, and accused of spreading COVID. My Vietnamese neighbor, who worked retail and was harassed for wearing a mask in downtown Huntington Beach, is teaching in another country where she will not be harassed for her Asian heritage or for wearing a mask on the street. My biracial friend is planning to move out of the country, so he does not have to deal with the racial divide going on in this country and the fear of possible violence because of the color of his skin. These are individual anecdotal stories, but they add up to something that is sad and scary for the United States and democracy. In a press statement, President Joe Biden tells us that a racially motivated hate crime is abhorrent to the very fabric of this nation. Hate must have no safe harbor. We must do everything in our power to end hate-fueled domestic terrorism. In addition, we are frustrated by a continuing pandemic and its related economic instability, US political upheaval, and our current rate of inflation. Really, $75 to $150 to fill up our tanks? That's a lot of money. Many are acting out their frustration through violence toward others. National death statistics for road rage have jumped dramatically. According to Everytown for Gun Safety, in 2021, an average of 44 people per month were shot and killed or wounded during road rage incidents, double the pre-pandemic average. So where do we turn? What do we do? How do we work together right now? How do we find hope in days that seem so bleak? Please join me in a moment of prayer and reflection. Dear Spirit of life and justice, I stand in front of these good people today, as my professor Phil Leader did many years ago, and attempt to make sense of these tumultuous days we live in and find hope for ourselves and for our community. Please watch over us as we go to the store, to the mall, to the movies, to school, as we join together as a faith community. Our sense of safety has been deeply shaken. Please help us to continue to live our lives in the face of these daily uncertainties that challenge us. Our Unitarian Universalist principles call us to honor the worth and dignity of each person, to be kind to each other, to help each other learn, to continue to assist each other in our search for meaning, to not get discouraged as we work for a better world, and to help us listen to each other. They ask us to remember and to hold all beings in the complex web of life, and to encourage and honor diversity in our congregations. Spirit, we are troubled and living in a time of trouble. Remind us each day, throughout the day, of what matters to us through these values. We thank you for your presence in our lives. Amen and blessed be. As we emerge from the spirit of prayer and reflection, we can recognize that there are times in our lives and in history that are simply difficult and sad. And it is okay to simply feel how we feel. Just being in those feelings is okay. And sitting with that sadness might be what we need at this time. I would invite you to pay attention to your own self-care right now. As Unitarian Universalists, many of us are in the role of bringing hope and healing to others. As social justice workers and warriors, it is easy for you youth to get caught up in the doing and pushing ourselves hard to make the changes we so desperately want to see in this world. Acknowledging our own self-care needs allows us to rest and recharge our own batteries so we can better help the world. I Googled self-care tips and looked at several pages of suggestions that I could bring today. The first list I found had only 12 tips. And as I was reading the list, I realized I was becoming more stressed and anxious. I was feeling uneasy about those 12 things that I'm not doing or not doing very well. I do pay attention to self-care, which is now an integral part of ministerial training. The next site I looked at was called Everyday Health, and they offered 76 self-care tips, which which worked much better for me, for my temperament. I could check off the ones I already do on that list and take as a suggestion some of the others. To my comfort, no one could possibly do everything on that list, but so the pressure was off. The shorter list tapped into my overachiever anxiety, but you might find the shorter lists helpful. The longer list included flossing your teeth every day. There you go. There's one thing I can joyfully check off on that self-care list that I do every day. I floss my teeth. The two lists contradicted each other on some things. One recommended buying takeout food. The other one said to stop ordering takeout food and cook for yourself. So I figure we're on our own for that one. So there's plenty of self-care advice out there. Some contradictory, but much of it can be very helpful. So please take good care of yourselves during this time. We join together today to cry, to share, to remember those we have lost. The list of deaths continues to grow. As you use, I know we will all be moved to act. It's who we are, as we are able, and to make this world a better and a safer place. As we walk together, take care of yourselves and each other. May it be so. Our closing hymn is number 354. We laugh, we cry, and it's in the gray hymnal. You can hum or sing along.
We laugh, we cry, we live, we die, we dance, we sing our song. We need to feel there's something here to which we can belong. We need to feel the freedom just to have some time alone. But most of all, we need close friends we can call our very own. And we believe in life and in the strength of love. And we have found a need to be together. We have our hearts have our thoughts to receive, and we believe that sharing is an answer. A child is born among us, and we feel a special glow. We see time's endless journey as we watch the baby grow. We thrill to hear imagination freely running wild. We dedicate our minds and hearts to the spirit of this child, and we believe in life and in the strength of love, and we have found a time to be together, and with the grace of age we share the wonder of youth, and we believe that growing is an answer. Our lives are full of wonder, and our time is very brief. The death of one among us fills us all with pain and grief. But as we live, so shall we die, and when our lives are done, the memories we share with friends, they will linger on, and we believe in life and in the strength of love, and we have found a place to be together. We have the right to grow. We have the gift to believe that peace within our living is an answer. We seek elusive answers to the questions of this life. We seek to put an end to all the waste of human strife. We search for truth, equality, and blessed peace of mind. And then we come together here to make sense of what we find, and we believe in love and in the strength of love, and we have found our joy being together, and in our search for peace, may we finally see, even to question truly is an answer.
Thank you, Carole. Now is the time for us to extinguish the chalice at UUFLB and at our homes. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. We carry in our hearts all these words until we are together again. Our closing words are a poem by Rebecca Ann Parker that I discovered is part of a much longer poem. There's a very abbreviated version of this poem, Choose to Bless the World, I think in our hymnal, but I found the entire poem. So they're a little longer than usual, but there was just so much beauty in these words. Your gifts, whatever you discover them to be, can be used to bless or curse the world. The mind's power, the strength of the hands, the reaches of the heart, the gift of speaking, listening, imagining, seeing, waiting. You must answer this question. What will you do with your gifts? Choose to bless the world. The choice to bless the world is more than an act of will, a moving forward into the world with the intention to do good. It is an act of recognition, a confession of surprise, a grateful acknowledgement that in the midst of a broken world, unspeakable beauty, grace, and mystery abide. There is an embrace of kindness that encompasses all life, even yours. More, the choice will draw you into community, the endeavor shared, the heritage passed on, the companionship of struggle, the importance of keeping faith, the life of ritual and praise, the comfort of human friendship, the company of earth, the chorus of life welcoming you. None of us alone can save the world. Together, that is another possibility waiting. Let us go in peace and love, knowing we are held by the spirit of life and our UUFLB community. Amen, shalom, salam, namaste, and blessed be. Now, please stand as you are comfortable and we'll join our circle and sing our closing song. Let there be peace on earth.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With earth as our mother, we are family. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take,